Meeple Talk!
Hello everyone, we're Meeple Talk. I'm Adam.
And I'm Stephanie. And this week we've got Century Spice Road.
Yes, so this is a game about caravans and spices from, I guess, another century.
Yes.
Yes. And so this is a game by Plan B Games.
Emerson Matsuuchi, sorry, I mispronounced that, as a designer there.
It looks like a hard to pronounce name, so props for trying.
I just never learned how to read.
So this is a very quick to play card game, and we're going to tell you how to play it, and then we'll give you our opinions.
Sure. Let's dive right in.
Let's check it out. So this is the setup for the game. You'll see there's all cards, and then there's some spice cubes, and then some coins, and that's basically all the components. Every player starts with a caravan card. Caravan card has 10 spaces for up to 10 cubes that they can fit in their caravan. They start with 2 cards. These are merchant cards. And they will give you different things. This one will give you 2 cubes. This will allow you to upgrade. And every player starts with 2 cards with that variation. Here we see all of the point cards. These are the cards you're trying to get in the game. They each have a combination of spices. And if you have that combination of cubes, then you can claim that card. And if you claim the one in the first or the second slot, you will also get a coin. This gold coin is worth 3, and the silver coin is worth 1 victory points, in addition to the points on the card. Whenever a card is taken, let's say a player claims this card, the rest will move up, and a new card will be placed. Now, these are the merchant cards. These cards help you to convert some spices into different spices. Here you can claim new spices, and players can, as an action, take one of these cards. Again, the one on the leftmost, this one is free, and a player can just take it. If there's a cube on it, they also get the cube. But if they want one that's further down from this rightmost card, they will have to place a cube on all the preceding cards. For example, if they want the third one here, then they would have to place cubes, and it doesn't matter which cube they place. And then once again, from the deck, these will move up, and a new card will be placed. So that's how they can get merchant cards. And finally, we have the spices themselves. They're just a series of cubes. The yellow is the least valuable, and the brown ones are the most valuable. And those are all the components. So to play the game, players basically each have 4 actions, and the turns go clockwise, and they just keep going around until one player has captured 5 of these points cards. At that point, the game ends, and players count all of their points. Points will come from both the point cards, the coins, and if you have any of these cubes, except for the yellow, they count for 1 victory point each. So when you're playing, the options that you have are 1, you can play a card, and for example, I would get 2 yellow cubes, and I could put them on my caravan if I played this card. If I played this card, I could upgrade cubes that I already have. The next option is you can, at any point, claim one of these point cards if you have the right combination. So that is an action. And you can take 1 action per turn. Another action is they can claim one of these cards, and as I mentioned how you can do that. And those cards will go into your hand, and you can use them on the next turn. Finally, the last action is, as you play your cards, and you'll pick up more cards, you may have a lot of cards, and after you've played them all, then they're in a discard pile. One of your actions is you can rest, and that means you will take all of your cards back into your hand, and on the next turn, all of those cards will then be available to you, and you can use them again. And again, play proceeds until one player has the requisite number of points cards, and then everyone counts their points, and whoever has the most wins. All right, so let's talk about what we think about the game.
Yeah,
Would
sure.
you like to
I
start?
mean, as you can see, as Adam described, it's a pretty simple setup game. Few components, easy to port. It's a pick up and go style game. Not too much rule investment in learning and whatnot. So it's a really easy one, I think, when it comes to having a group of people who are like just longtime gamers or people who are new to games. Like we can all get involved in it pretty easily. I love the art. I mean, there's something I like about certain artworks that almost look like paintings, and that's what or muralscapes. I'm really drawn to that kind of stuff. So when I see that, I like visually staring at these cards. They are very pleasant to work with. Now, when it comes to actual gameplay, again, it's not a heavy strategy game. There is some, I guess you can say, when it comes to trying to decide which cards you're going to collect. We did find that when it comes to a deck building game, Adam was mentioning that it was a little bit unique in the sense that you don't always find the motivation to try to build the largest one that you can possibly use to then exhaust and collect through. It almost seems like once you've got your strategy of what your system's going to be, because you might notice that certain types of cards will work well together in certain kind of up conversions, down conversions, and what kind of, building blocks you can create. So if you've got your select pieces, you find that you sort of want to stick to that one, and you're just going to kind of work that over and over and over, which is fine because it creates a nice, pleasant, time-passing kind of game where you're just kind of casually doing your thing, building up your cards. I haven't found that this game is overly dramatic in when it comes to the swing in the amount of cards getting collected or the point spreads in between them. It almost flows like, not necessarily it's a predictable game, but it sort of has this flow where you're just kind of going along, and it's just a matter of a couple of moves maybe where you could have secured that fifth or sixth card depending on how many people are playing. Your neighbor was probably just maybe one move away or one up conversion way of getting their final set. So it's a game that seems to wrap itself up very neatly amongst everyone around the same time. So you don't have this great pressure to try to really catch up or this need to try to, defend yourself or else you'll lose your position. It does sort of flow very well together in the sense of, the order of completion. That being said, it does create a very tight, kind of narrow set of points where we found that maybe just one card off was really the difference between winning or losing. Like, the scores were really pretty close, I found. So, but in that, I would say that overall, it's not a deeply challenging game. It's not an overly exciting game, but it is a pleasant game when you want to spend just a casual time together playing, and that's what I found that this one is good for.
Yeah. So, my feeling was, I guess, similar. I feel like this is a very quick to play game. There's not a lot of intense strategy. You basically want to pick up 3 or 4 of these cards at most that will help you. And once you've got the set of cards that you want, you don't want to waste any more turns taking more cards. I like the fact that although, it's technically a deck builder, essentially you're just gathering cards that when you pick up your hand after a rest, you can use all of them in any order. And at any point, maybe say you use 3 of them that are particularly useful right now, you want to use them again, you can just rest again and pick up your whole hand, and you can use them again. So you're not kind of waiting for a card to come up. You're not subject to the order of the cards. They're basically everything that you want to use is available to you throughout the game. And it plays very quickly. In about 15 or 20 minutes, we play with 3 players, and very quickly, one player will have a set of 5 cards. And and I like the elegance of the game. It's very simple, but there is an interesting strategy where you think, well, I could, get this card, which is 12 points, or this one is lower, but I will get the 3 gold points as well. And some of those cards, if they are difficult to get, they will just sit there. And, later on, when you can earn, or you can upgrade your spices to the greens and the browns, which are the hardest to get, those then become available to you. So I would say it's a relaxing strategy game. And I think in general, it's difficult to create a game that's very simple and elegant and strategic, but also that feels relaxing. And this game does it. And I really like this game. I think it's a great game. I would play it over and over, even though it's simple, even though you quickly know exactly what your strategy is going to be and what you're going to do. It's different every time. It's a beautiful, as Stephanie mentioned, it's a beautiful game. The artwork is amazing. And I can't think of anything I don't like about it. It's a really good game.
Yeah, so we encourage you to come and check it on out.
Yeah, definitely check it out.
Yeah.
So
that concludes our video for this time. But yeah, come check out our other videos and we'll see you soon.
Thanks so much for watching the Dice Tower videos. Find more great videos and reviews, as well as our top-rated audio podcast at Dicetower.com. You can also find other great shows at DicetowerNetwork.com. I'm Eric Summerer, and you've been watching The Dice Tower. The Dice Tower is sponsored by Cool Stuff Inc., where you can find great games for great prices. Cool stuff in stock. Check them out at CoolStuffInc.com.